This test is simply in stabilized mode, manual mode, to see that the stick movements are operating in the correct direction. So I'm not really going to try to pick it up in the air. I'm going to try to just move sticks as if it was moving forward, right and left, backwards, that type of thing, to see that the stick movements, like I say, are correct. Here we go. And already I can see that that stick movement is incorrect. So I'm going to have to come into my radio, go into that model, whoops, space over to the mixes. Well, here we go. So that's the pitch channel. So that'll be channel 2, whoops, 2. And we'll run over and reverse the direction on that channel, just like that. Done. Now we'll try it again. Rearm. Doesn't want to rearm. Why? I have to look in on my ground station. Why do you not want to arm? Logging failed. Logging failed. Guess that's the SD card inside of it. Huh. Thought the SD card was in it. I'm fine. I'm going to just reset the platform by unplugging it from the battery and plugging it back in. Have to look into that one deeper. So there's a full restart. Have to go reconnect the ground station again because it will have disconnected. There we go. Take that a second to load. Well, without even flying it, I already found the pitch channel. Had to be reversed in the radio in my hand. We're reading in perimeters, 15 satellites. Looks pretty good. I'm interested in what's going to happen when that voltage gets to 15. It's at 15.55 now. Okay, here we go again. A little bit of throttle and push forward. Yeah, the back lifts that time. Now pull back. The front lifts. Good. Stick right. It goes to the right. Stick left. Goes to the left. Okay. I probably shouldn't, but I'm going to try a short hover. It hovers well. I can see a little shake in it. Again, that'll be PIDs. Whoops. Okay, so that proved manual flight. Got, there we go. And got my pitch channels out. After that, I was able to hover it. It did respond manually to all the sticks completely as it should. Will it arm again now? Nope. Something about that logging. Let me walk in here and see if that's what's on the screen. Sure is. Pre-arm logging failed. You know, this probably isn't good to do, but you can come into the software full perimeter list, go down to the arming area. Arming check 1. And let's see, this is all. And it looks to me like this right here is what's getting me for some reason. I have no idea why. So rather than clicking all, I'm going to click here and say, yeah, check the barometer, the compass, the GPS lock, INS, RC channels, board voltage, battery level. We'll leave logging out. We don't have a hardware safety switch. The rest of this really isn't that needed. So there's our new value of 478 instead of 1. Write those perimeters to the platform. Save those perimeters to my perimeter list for the flame wheel. And now let's try again. I'm not sure that disabling what is keeping you from arming is exactly the correct way to solve a problem, but that's what I did. So now, as you can see, it arms again. I'm going to take it up just a little bit. Oops, disarmed for time. I'm going to move this camera back just a little bit so we can get a more broad picture of what is going on here. And I'm going to take it up and I'm going to put it in loiter mode and see if it'll hang where it's supposed to be with GPS. 15.43, 16 satellites on the ground station. Okay, arm. We'll take it up. Not far. And we'll briefly go to loiter. Whoops. Well, there it is in loiter mode, but it's not staying exactly put too well. I got a battery alarm on it too, so I need to go out there and pull on it to see if it's in loiter. But losing battery, it's going down. Come on up. Down a little. Let's see if it's loitering. Yes, it's loitering. So I trust the GPS fix. I got a battery alarm. I'm going to land it and disarm it. That's the end of today's testing. I will make comments and stuff when I create the video. So there it is, first day testing on the reconfiguration. I did move it up to another version of the ArduCopter, so I just wanted to start from scratch and redo all the parameters from scratch. Then today's preliminary flights for making sure everything's correct. First thing I did was just cycle through the OSDs for kicks and grins to make sure that switch worked. Then, giving it just a little power, not to bring it off the ground, I moved the sticks around in stabilize mode to make sure they were working in the correct direction, and they were not. Pitch was incorrect. I reversed the pitch in the radio and retested, and all four directions and throttle pitch worked. I did not test the yaw now that I think of it, but I will do that on the next flight. So after getting the pitch channel correct for manual types of flights, stabilize mode being one of those, I did take it back up to see if it was moving in the correct directions, and it was. I can keep it manually in stabilized mode. I can keep it right there in the little backyard area. That worked well. So then I put it in loiter mode, which will test the GPS. Is the GPS working? Does the GPS know where it is on the planet? If so, then it'll kind of try to stay in that one area. So after I had it in loiter mode, I did walk over to it, grab it by one of the arms and pull it backwards, and it resisted being moved from that position. So that proves the GPS is working correctly, that it's positioned itself on the planet correctly. Therefore, my next testing will involve return to launch. I can trust it because this loiter showed me, well, it knows where it's at on the planet and it knows where it's wanting to stay. So it's just one step upon the other. So this was a short 10 minutes or so flight today, but it proved that the platform is ready for flight testing in its new configuration. So I will work it up through the ArduCopter part. Once I've got the ArduCopter working the way I want it, we'll flip it over into iNav and go through everything again. And then we'll have a platform we can fly in ArduCopter, and within less than 4 minutes, just a little over 3, truthfully, I can reflash it from ArduCopter to iNav and fly it as an iNav copter. That's the whole goal here. A bet right now, iNav support for the H743 wing does not include CAN bus support, so I do have to make a physical connection change on the GPS, switching it from CAN bus, which does work in ArduCopter, to a serial UART for the GPS module, and that does work in iNav, no problems whatsoever. There was also a hardware change on the RC receiver. On ArduCopter, I don't have CRSF protocol, but I do on iNav. So I did include the 4 wires even in ArduCopter for the ground voltage transmit and receive, or an S-bus. So in ArduCopter, it's S-bus. For iNav, I can run it in CRSF, a bidirectional protocol on the RC receiver, and I can get telemetry back. I can't do that in the ArduCopter as it is. So that's the way we will be proceeding. I thank everybody for watching, and we'll be flying it again soon.